So the Xbox One X, old news.
Man,
The code name is Xbox Scarlet.
Xbox Scarlet.
Ooh.
Have they released
And then they're gonna name it something different. They're gonna name it something stupid. Okay, so Xbox One X was codenamed Scorpio.
Okay.
Why not call it Xbox Scorpio? No, we're gonna call it Xbox One X.
Yeah. Doesn't it? Yeah. I don't
They-
understand the
they-
naming conventions.
Every single Xbox, with the exception of the first one, has a stupid name. I'm sorry, 360
Yeah.
is a dumb name.
Because you're back where you started. I mean, Xbox 180. We're gonna do a 180. No, Xbox 360. I'm sorry. It's
Like
the
what is
back
it?
where we started.
Xbox 360. So a circle. So XOXO.
Yeah.
Like what are you
Xbox
trying?
Circle.
X square circle. There you go.
Yeah.
So they're ripping PlayStation now.
Yeah.
And then Xbox One.
Which didn't make any sense because Xbox was the Xbox One. This is Xbox 3.
But we don't want it to sound inferior.
That's like Xbox Jurassic World. You can't do that.
Well, these next ones, it's rumored they're going to have two different iterations, two different SKUs, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
They will have one that is hardware that's more like a classic console with an optical drive, probably supports physical media of some sort,
Okay.
and it will be very much like the current generation of systems, just of course with the more capable power boost.
Okay.
The second model, which is what everyone's kind of losing their minds over, is one that will not really have the internals capable, the same internals. It will just have enough juice to stream games to it.
It's going to be half the price, probably.
Probably a much lower priced system. Probably not a whole, maybe just probably like $100 less,
That
I think.
I got you.
So that's it.
So
It's a rumor, by the way, just a rumor right
so
now.
your internet goes down and you got no video games.
You got no video games.
Yeah. Which is the primary reason why you need video games is in case your internet goes down.
What I can't understand, maybe you can help me, maybe someone out there in internet land can help me, but I don't understand why people think that streaming games is going to be like Netflix at some point, where you're not going to have latency. You will always have latency. Latency works for video streaming because I'm just waiting for information to come to me.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if what order the bits arrive. Like I think maybe that's the problem. People don't understand how streaming information works when you're downloading something, when you're watching streaming. You're just receiving that, and your player is putting all of the information in the proper order, and as long as it has a large enough buffer, you're fine. Streaming video games, whether it's PlayStation Now or heck, even I have a Vita and I have a PS4.
It's all about ping rates. It's all about how quick you can
Yeah,
go back and forward without any latency.
I have a decent router, even with that, because you can do remote play on the PS4.
Yeah.
It's not perfect.
My question, is it going to be like a virtual machine where you're playing using Microsoft's hardware and you just happen to control the inputs on your end and you get the output of the video and sound? Or is it going to be they stream the service to you and then load it?
Oh, like a download?
Yeah, like you download
I think what they're thinking is some assets will be downloaded to the system to help,
Okay.
but a majority of the game's data will be on the cloud.
Now, I can get behind that because the problem with Xbox and the problem with PlayStation that's been detouring me lately is just price of the systems themselves. They're getting to be expensive, like very expensive.
And they haven't really come down. Like I remember, do you remember in the PS1, PS2, GameCube days where you could get a brand new system for towards the end of the lifespan, $99?
Yeah.
$199?
Yeah.
Why are we not seeing these? I guess we're not seeing these price drops because they're actually selling. Xbox One not so much, but the PlayStation is selling tremendously well.
Yeah, Yeah, that's weird. Well, also with the PlayStation 1 now, at this point, like, cracking the games, like if you bought a PlayStation 1, you could download like all the different ROMs. Doesn't matter if it's US, Japanese, European release, and you can burn them and unlock the system so that you can play all those discs without having to worry about the copyrights anymore.
Right.
Like they gotten around that to this point. So if you bought a PlayStation 1, that's understandable because all the games are essentially free if you're savvy.
Right. But I'm saying, like, even when Sony was officially supporting those systems, they sold them for much less.
Well, yeah. Even, and you could say it's because, like, the economy's grown since then. Is why, like, all the hardware is more expensive, because, but the PlayStation 1 was not, what was it like? It was only about like what, $200 to $300.
It launched. I'm confused as to how much it launched for. I want to say it launched. I've heard anywhere from $300 to $500.
I don't remember it being that much.
Yeah, I don't remember either. I remember 300.
I had like 300 sounds right.
And then it dropped to 200.
I had a lot of I lived with a bunch of poor people, and it seemed like everybody had PlayStation
right
at the time. So I know that it was affordable, but like nowadays it's getting to be.
We've only had one price drop for the PS4. It went from 400 to 300.
So, and one thing that in corporate environments that is becoming burdensome is you get your laptop, whether it's HP, Dell, whatever. You get your laptop, and the amount of work that you have to do on it at the same time, a laptop can't do that anymore. So they delegate it to instead of buying everybody, like a massive piece of hardware, because that would just be too much for one company. They take the work and they set up a virtual machine just for crunching the numbers, just for running things, something beefy that everyone can use when they need to.
Right. So
like if Microsoft could offer that to their systems and just give you something that's not a big huge tower, like, because they're huge, and I don't like systems getting bigger,
Well, and that's a concern, especially in the Japanese market.
Yeah.
Like Xbox has historically sold abysmally over there, and one of the reasons is their systems are always huge.
Yeah.
Not so much of a problem in an American household, but think of living in a single room apartment in Japan. The Switch suddenly is a very attractive system. Yeah. The Wii is a very attractive system.
Yeah.
PS4 is even not all that big, especially when you consider the slim model.
Yeah. But the way that a lot of places are going now is like the economies are getting bigger, prices are increasing, but not a lot of people are making a lot of extra money nowadays, and you see a lot of people that have more economical houses, see a lot more people in condos, a lot more people in lofts and stuff. So like a bigger and bigger system is just taking up too much space at this point. I think something small and inexpensive, like if I were to buy a console for $250, like if you could get me a console $250 and it uses stream services, then I might pay think, okay, well that's fine to pay $50 to $70 for a game that you're going to be playing a lot of, because the console's not that expensive. But if you have to buy a console for like $800 to $1,000.
But this also means that your console, because I don't think that it's going to be, if they did do this, I don't think that they would. I think you would download some elements of the game for that play session. When you turn it off, it's gone. Yeah. I don't think it's gonna save it in memory unless you put it in some kind of sleep mode.
That's fine, because
but then you have to re-download it.
Yeah, but with cloud services, it's a-okay. That's perfectly fine. As far as save states, what you need to save. You've got a profile, so if they could save it
But I'm saying the startup time to jump in the game from a cold boot is going to take forever.
That's true.
Especially if you're coming home at 5 o'clock when everyone's online and slowing it down.
But did that stop you with Breath of the Wild? Think about how long it takes you just to get into Breath of the Wild. I played Zelda, and the load times between jumping.
Well, I've played both the Wii U and the Switch, and you have the Wii U version. Yes, it takes a long time for the Wii U version to get in. I don't think it. I think we're I don't think that the infrastructure of the internet exists to support what this new Xbox
true.
could do.
That's true as well. You know,
It's a crapshoot. It depends on where you live.
It does. It does depend on where you live, and I mean, like, it doesn't matter how rich you are either when it comes to the internet. If you are super rich
Sure.
in the Midwest,
Although we talk to people who might
Congratulations.
like to think otherwise, like their
Yeah.
salary somehow determines how fast the internet behaves
my
for them.
internet's- we won't get into what we do for a
I
living.
know.
But when you talk to some super rich people and they don't understand, it's like you're paying for 5 megabytes download speed, and you're trying to do what? Yeah.
Or they don't pay for it and they're like super rich, but that's another thing.
Yeah.
So-
No, we won't get into any of that.
I just it's like the cloud thing was kind of a big thing with the Xbox One.
Mhm.
Crackdown 3, which has yet to come out, was when it was first announced and showed off, they said that, oh, we're going to have, cloud computations make, bigger explosions and more complicated physics happen within those explosions, and it'll be cloud powered. They couldn't do it, so the game has been delayed time and time again, and it's just to make it so that it's not cloud powered anymore. Like, I feel like they keep going back to this, and the cloud and streaming, if you want to play streaming, play PlayStation Now. Like, there's still latency, there's still lag. We're not talking about like 5 milliseconds that you might experience between you and your TV. We're talking like 5 times that amount, and milliseconds can be the difference between you dying
Yeah.
or you making the shot,
Yeah.
depending on what you're playing. I just don't see the cloud ever, and I know a lot of people aren't saying this, but personally I think it will never be to the point where everything's instantaneous. It works for all games perfectly at all times.
So our firm stance at level 1 Sword is to get the hardware and not go through the streaming services. And honestly, like,
Yeah, don't rely on it.
when you get the hardware, are you not going to be able to stream? You are. It's going to be the same thing.
Also, why not just have an Xbox One S or X?
Yeah.
Can it not do what you're what
Xbox One S 360, bro.
OG?
Yeah.
Throw an OG also.
Yeah, and they got some hand sign that you can't even spell.
But those can stream, so why not just have those stream your new system?
Yeah.
Like, it's silly. I hope they're not serious.
Good luck, Microsoft. Good luck.